Okay. All right. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Jew Wills. I'm a model slash social media influencer who happens to be a little knowledgeable about subjects pertaining to spiritual and personal development. So as you may know by the title, today's discussion is going to be centered around comparing yourself and how it can affect your mind. So I'm actually really excited about this one because this is something that I used to do so much, and my life has changed so much for the better ever since I switched my perspective and stopped comparing myself to people around me. So I'm going to be sharing my personal tips and things that I did to get myself out of that mindset of constantly comparing myself to people. So if that's something that you may be interested in, open your eyes and ears, grab a pen and paper, because I'm about to school you. Class is in session. So starting off, one of my favorite quotes in relation to this topic is, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison will take you from feeling secure, confident, to just putting you in this state of lack. You know what I mean? Like, for whatever reason now, you just don't feel like you have enough or yet you are enough. And it could turn you pretty envious or have you feeling inadequate around anyone who has whatever it is that you feel that you're lacking. And when I look around today, I just see these standards of like how we should be, how we should act, you know, how I should live my life, what type of house should I live in, what kind of car should I drive, how should my body look, you know, what type of relationship I should be in. You know, because the normal person, regardless of if they're doing well for themselves or not, they will see these standards being portrayed to them over and over and over again. And subconsciously, you'll start to pick up on that and be like, okay, my life doesn't look like this. Maybe I need to step it up. Maybe I'm not doing enough. And we'll even take it a step further and start taking the things that they do have for granted. Oh, this new MacBook just came out and I'm still using my old crappy MacBook from 2021. I hate this thing. Like, the world is falling to pieces and you have a MacBook. Like, calm down, you're gonna be okay. So what, you've been driving that same car for the past, 5 years, you know? At least it's not all banged up. And if it is all banged up, you need to fix it, because you have no business wanting something new, wanting more, if you can't even be a good steward to the things that you already have. You know what I mean? Like, the universe doesn't work like that. But like, it even goes beyond material possessions, because people are really out here hating themselves because of what they see on the internet. You know, they don't look a certain way, they don't act a certain way. So now they feel like they're not enough as is. It's just like everybody wants to be someone else these days. Like, it's really easy to conform to whatever roadmap is put in front of you. You know, dress like this, wear your hair like this, get this type of surgery done, wear these type of clothes. You know, nobody wants to like express themselves and be themselves. There are people who are in the low and middle working class who spend like $5,000 a month to look like whatever they see on Instagram. You know what I mean? That's like $60,000 a year to subscribe to an aesthetic. Instead of investing that $60,000 into something that you actually need, you just dress yourself up with it because you want to feel pretty, all because you want to look cool. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff is spiritual in the first place. You know what led me on this spiritual journey, bro? I reached a point in my life when I was I was like 20 years old, and I just was not okay with the life that I was living. You know, I had this idea in my mind that by 20, I was going to be living this type of life. I was going to be working this type of job. But like, instead, I'm in college and I'm questioning all these things about myself, and I'm just not really liking where I am. I just felt like I was so far behind because I was comparing myself to what I was seeing on the internet. I was comparing myself to what I was seeing around me. I placed myself in this deep state of lack because I was looking at everybody else's life instead of looking at my own. I was trying to place expectations onto me based off of things outside of myself. And it just caused me to be so miserable. It caused me to feel like I was a failure. And it just caused me to like have to do something about it because I couldn't stay like that. And it wasn't until I actually got able to know self and sit with myself that I was able to clock, okay, what's even meant for me and what's not. You know what I mean? Because I could be aiming towards something that's not even meant for me, and whether it's attainable or not, it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm just wasting my energy. Instead, I want to actually focus on what I need to improve on because I think I need to improve on it, not because somebody else outside of me told me that I need to fix this about myself. So I have to look in the mirror and I have to get honest with myself. And doing that gave me the clarity of knowing what it was that I needed to fix, because I was then triggered by what I saw in the mirror, not by seeing somebody else. You know what I mean? I didn't start going to the gym because this person had a better body than me. I started going to the gym because I didn't like what I saw when I looked in the mirror. So now you can actually focus on what's for you and not what everybody else is telling you should be for you, because they don't know. They don't know. Sometimes you wouldn't even have a problem with the way that you're living until you see somebody living better. Like, you bought your first apartment, you love your first apartment, you in here every day, you get on Instagram and you see somebody in this luxury high-rise apartment. Now all of a sudden your apartment isn't enough. Truth be told, I'm not worried about the next person. I don't care what they do for work. I don't care about their social media following. I don't care about their body. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that everybody is doing what works best for them. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do what works best for me. And I can't sit here and compare myself to anybody outside of myself. The only person I'm comparing myself to is the old version of myself. That's the only person I'm competing with. That's the only person I want to be better than. And I think that's the mindset a lot of people need to have if they want to reach a certain level of self-confidence. Because you don't know what that person had to do to get to where they are. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the work that they put in. You don't know the sacrifices they had to make. You know, a lot of people think they see someone getting their blessings and they think it just fell into their lap. But whole time you got to do a lot of work to align yourself for something to even fall into your lap in the first place. I didn't become a model until I got over my fear of being perceived and my fear of rejection and actually went to some castings. That's how I got casted. Somebody who wants to be a background dancer or something, they're not going to be a background dancer until they post videos of themselves dancing or go to some workshops. You know, you have to actually do the work and put yourself out there to be in alignment with what it is that you want, because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to come knock at your door with $1 million opportunity. You know, you got to meet your dreams halfway. You got to show up. It's time for you to get up and do the work. And even still, like, I'm not even looking at, let's say I was to get into something today, and I've been doing this for like a year now, and somebody else started like 2 months ago and they pop before I do, or they blow up before I do. Great, that's good for them. You know what I mean? And that's another thing too. When it comes to comparison, you cannot compare the timeline of your life to somebody else's. You know, you just can't. You can't. If you were to compare the timeline of your life to somebody else's, you're going to be miserable. Just like I used to be, because I used to do that all the time. But it wasn't until I realized that one day the timing of my life is going to make sense enough to know that I had to go through seasons and I had to go through them for as long as I needed to. That everybody has ups and downs in life. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way that it is. Like, if I'm sitting here and I'm down right now, I have hope and I have faith and I find peace in knowing that, okay, the only way to go from here is up. And when I am up, I'm just taking it all in, because I'm not about to waste my time up here and miss this view because I want to look around and I want to worry about what the next person is doing, you know? Because I've done that before. I've been in some great rooms before and I didn't even realize I was in a great room because I was so worried about the competition. I was so worried about everybody around me. Bro, look where you are. Because sometimes you have to stop and you have to smell your flowers, you know? You got to see how far you've come. You can't be worried about everybody else. One of the things that helped me the most is realizing that everything that you want in this life is already yours, you know? That's the reason why your desires are so specific, because they are tailored to you and your soul calling. And it's up to you to do the work to align yourself with that. You've been talking about you wanted to do hair for, I don't know, 5 years now. You still haven't done anybody's hair but yourself. You haven't posted any videos of you doing hair. You know, you've been talking about you want to be a content creator, but you compare yourself to everybody else who's content creating. Oh, this person has like ring lights and this person has cameras and mics. I don't have none of that. Just use your phone, get a tripod and press record. Stop comparing yourself. And stop waiting until you got everything in order to do it. Just do it with whatever you have, because you have everything that you need. You have everything that you need. You have everything that you need. All you gotta do is put yourself out there and align yourself with what it is that you want. And in order to align yourself, you have to be specific about what it is that you want. Stop masking what you want behind these tangible things. Do you really want a BBL, or do you just want to be confident? Do you really want the money, the cars, and the clothes and everything else? Or do you just want the status that comes with it, the respect that comes with that? Do you really want to be a millionaire, or do you just want to be comfortable and secure with your finances? You know, really be specific about what it is that you want. That way you can take out the middleman and do the actual work at becoming what it is that you want, so you can attract more of what you actually want. If you don't like where you are in life, but you haven't done the work to actually like be where you want to be, you have absolutely no right to be jealous of anybody, to be upset with anybody. The only person you're upset with is yourself, and it's up to you to displace that anger, to displace that bitterness, to displace any negative emotion that you're feeling, because it is on yourself. Feel that weight. Feel the weight of you not living up to your potential. Feel the weight of you being less than what you know you could be. And don't put it on nobody else, because they can't do the work for you. And they're not. Nobody's going to save you, bro. That's the biggest thing I had to learn. That's what helped me stop comparing myself. Nobody's going to save me. Nobody. I got to do it myself. And before I sign off, I just want to share one more thing with you guys, okay? I feel like I've been yelling at you all day. My apologies. I just happen to be really passionate about this topic. But I'm going to share the story of the first casting that I went to as a model. This was my first time I actually decided to do something about wanting to be a model. You know, I had just gotten to New York, and I was just like, you know what? It's time for me to just go for it. Because I'm just like, you know, everybody telling me I should be a model anyway. Like, let me do it. I know I got what it takes. So let me just show up one day. I see something for a casting, I go. And on the way there, I'm pretty confident. You know, I'm so confident in everything that I have. You know, I'm like, they're going to love me. I'm tall. I'm the perfect height. I'm the perfect weight. I have clear skin. I'm so handsome. And I go into the building, and I go downstairs, and I'm immediately taken aback, because now I'm in these rooms with all of these people who are also tall, the perfect height, who are also very handsome, who are also, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, that's not setting me apart anymore. And all of a sudden, because I decided I wanted to compare myself to other people, I'm questioning if I'm even cut out for it. You know, now I'm nervous a little bit, but I still go through it, and I still do what I gotta do. I still walk. And I'm waiting to hear something back. I'm waiting to hear like 3 weeks until I finally hear something back. Hey, you got the call back. You've been casted. And I almost talked myself out of something that was meant for me, because I was too busy comparing myself to other people. Because when somebody else showed up as all that they were, it caused me to shake a little bit on who I was. And from that day forward, bro, I vowed to myself to never do that again. I don't care what room I'm in. I don't care who I'm next to that's shining. Somebody's light isn't going to affect mine. You know? Somebody being all that they are isn't going to make less of me. Because I know what I'm about, and I know what I can do, and I know what sets me apart. So comparing myself is just a waste. A waste of brain power, a waste of breath, a waste of everything. Like, there's no point in doing it ever. It's people out here who like to complain about like people's privileges and this and that. Don't you know that everybody is down here playing this game called life with whatever cards they were dealt? That person couldn't help that they was born into a rich family. That person couldn't help that they was born light skinned or white. And you crying about you not being born under the same thing. I mean, it's not going to change anything. You have to play your game. You have to play with the cards that you were dealt. And understand that everybody has strengths and weaknesses, and it's all a matter of using your strengths to your advantage and making your weaknesses strengths. Stop making excuses for yourself. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Because you feel sorry for yourself and you want other people to feel sorry for you too. The only thing you're going to get out of them is aw, and they're going to go back to living their life because they really don't care. You have everything that you need. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can get to work and actually be what it is that you know you can be. You know, 2024, I feel like there's been a shift in the air, and everybody's just like really waking up to who they are, or feeling that urge to at least go after it. And honor that, you know. Let's do the work. Let's make it a productive year. By the time 2025 comes around, we need to be somewhere completely different. Different mind space, different head space, different position. Like, I know you're tired of living the same life over and over again. There's a shift happening right now. And if you don't wake up to it, you will get left behind. You will get left behind. So just make sure you're not in that number of people that's getting left behind. That's all I got to say for this video. I'm going to be signing off. I will see you next time. Class is dismissed.